wife. And honestly, the reason why I'm showing this book is because it teaches you about marriage, teaches you how to become the person that you need to become, how to forgive, and then the fact that forgiveness is a choice. And honestly, it took me so many places in the book to where like I felt sad, but I felt like guilt of how like I am attached to the book, how I relate to the book, and how I feel about the book. And honestly, it teaching me I'm already on page 50, but it's the fact that I just honestly underline the things that I needed to underline so I can text it to my sister, so I can teach it, so I cannot teach it, but I can text it to my sister so she can be taught from the book as I am taught from the book. How to position, how to be a wife. Even though I'm not a wife, thinking like a wife, but being a husband, if that makes sense. So it says this: a young woman who was desperately needed her father to be in her life. A woman who couldn't understand what she did to deserve rejection by her own father. Those were my words. These were the words I cried out to God, trying to figure out what was about me by that made my father choose not to love me. For 25 years, I was so angry with him. I blamed him for my actions and my choices in life. So Shamika, she blamed her father for her choices, for everything that she was going through. She blamed her father for it, and it was something, but it was something. And then it said, and then it said, and then it said, why does the enemy make things hard for you? I had a moment of revelation. The only time the enemy make things difficult for us is when there is a blessing awaiting us. Exactly, that is true. So bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all those benefits, or forgiveth all the iniquities, who health about thy diseases, or redeemeth thy life from destruction, who crowneth thee of loving kindness and tender mercies, who satisfieth thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like eagle. hmm the law was brought in, was brought, and that's what I love about the book. Is the fact that it teaches you about God, and how you have to be a wife in order to a woman of God and a husband of God. So you have to forgive, and if forgiving is a choice, and even though if the enemy is coming toward us, we cannot stop our blessings, or the enemy cannot stop our blessings whenever you are at your highest moment, because some people could be jealous, some people could be distressed of your success in life, or the success that you're going in life. And it's the fact that enemies, they attack us because their life is not going as good, or they're jealous, or they're envious, and they want the same thing without working for it or without doing it. And so I feel like that's what the book is honestly showing me, and that's what the book is honestly telling me, to where forgive for you and don't forgive just because for other people. And when the enemy goes above and beyond to attack you, God will shield you from that, and will handle and control things that you cannot control. And I feel like that's what the book is telling me, and it's really open up my mind to how people are, to where you don't have to think like everyone is the same, every enemy is the same, but every enemy has this objective of doing exactly the same pattern, just in a different way. When someone is in love, or in a relationship, or trying to do better in their life, or becoming the person that they need to become, that's how I see it. And that's how I see it. And I do not want to have to sit up there and see it in a negative way, but it's the fact that the enemy do not want us to do better, and that's why we have to follow our hearts with God, and that's what we have to do. And I love that about this book. I honestly do. And it says this: the law was brought in so that the trespass might be increased, but where sin increased, grace is increased all the time, all the more. This is so refreshing, because that means your sin can't outweigh God's grace. Grace covered it, because it is by grace through faith, and that we